As we are nearing the end of Season 1 of Am I Actually the Strongest, will this show end up being a good finish or not? We will be discussing that and more closer to the end of this video. Now in this one we will be discussing episode 10 and 11 of the show, as I did not make a video last week and I'm a bit behind on episode 11 as well, but you know, it happens. In these two episodes we did actually get a decent semblance of plot development, which is something new for this show. It is quite rare we actually get much development at all. But it was quite interesting as well, the little developments we did get. In episode 10, yes, we do find out that Iris is the Demon King reincarnated, and that wasn't really unexpected for a lot of people. It was expected, basically, for, I would say, a good portion of the audience. Weren't too many people she could really have been, but still, nice to have that confirmed, and it can prove very interesting now that Flay, we find out, was basically the right-hand woman of the Demon King in her previous life. But Flay now believes, of course, that Haruto is the Demon King because that's what he basically came up with in the spur of the moment, all the way back when he was an infant. So the reunion there, which I assume must happen at some point, would be very fun to see. That would actually be very, very interesting. But of course, that's going to be way far in the future, in a distant season, if it ever does come. Even outside the few plot points we do get in episode 10 and 11 for that matter, this show, it just does such a good job of being entertaining. Like, even though we've been barely 2 days in world in the last 3 episodes, you still keep yourself entertained with all the characters and the character interactions and the dialogue and the humor and the jokes and just the continual absurdity of all that goes on between these people and these characters. And you just smile to yourself and you chuckle to yourself, and you just enjoy it for what it is. It's nothing too deep, but it's still very fun to watch, at least for me. To me, it has this casual vibe, which makes it really chill to just sit down, watch, not really engage my brain too much, just enjoy it for what it is supposed to be, and you come away from it thinking, you know what, I enjoyed that. That was a nice, just chill hour of anime. And a lot of anime aren't really able to do that for me, so I do appreciate it for what it is in that respect. And as I mentioned again, we do get as well some backstory on the Demon King before he was vanquished. It is a question of whether he let himself be vanquished by the Sword Princess because he wanted to unify basically the demonkind and humankind, wanted both of them to live in peaceful coexistence, but of course that was not as easy as he wanted it to be. So maybe he let himself be killed so he could reincarnate as a human to, let's say, invoke the change from within. We don't really know, but that's at least what Flay speculates. And of course now, when we see the Demon King in her new, young, very attractive waifu body, she is horribly inept, right? Because she hasn't lived with humans basically at all before this time in this world. And while that is very funny, it also, of course, is very relevant and congruent with what we know, or the backstory we get to know in episode 10. And this, of course, creates very fun interactions. I mean, just between Haruto and Iris, just in episode 10, where she basically begs him to be her friend, her first friend, her only friend. Like, will you please be my friend? I beg you. Okay. Oh, thank you. And then, even with the, I'm not sure I'd be a good first friend, I'm also a loner. Oh, you're a loner too? Perfect. You're a perfect couple. Perfect match. Just a lot of this goofy, fun dialogue that this show just keeps churning out. Even with the end of the episode when Char basically comes over, being, oh, is this your lover? Oh, a friend, okay, phew, thank God. As Char, for some reason, wants to be his second wife, Haruto's second wife, or somewhere along those lines. She is very harem-friendly and has a bro complex, clearly. But even outside of that as well, just the dialogue that Charlotte comes up with, and the interaction between Charlotte and Iris and all these things, it's so fun. Like, it's so just casual and fun, and it just makes you smile. Maybe it's just me, but it's just so... It's so gosh darn cute and adorable and wholesome and stupid, but fun. And sometimes that's all I can ask for in anime. Now in episode 11, we basically get some more humor and such, but not as much as the 10th episode, I would say. Haruto basically is told, hey, you're going to go to C class. He has his first day of school. He immediately gets promoted to A class because apparently the questions he was given he thought were super easy. That's basically just because he has been tutoring Charlotte, who is a mega genius, so everything seems easy after doing that. And then of course you also learn in Class A, later in the episode, that, right, Charlotte has been secretly using the knowledge that Haruto has given her, taught her over the years, to publish research papers that are generations ahead of any other magic research, and secretly sent it to the school. And when Haruto basically says something of the same that are in these very secretive new research papers, the teacher thinks he's a genius as well, and basically even accuses him of maybe being this secret, curious researcher. So, yep, okay. Of course, why not? We do get to see as well Iris and her level and elements. So she has every element, which I guess makes sense because of the whole Demon Lord, Demon King, reincarnation thing. But she only has a level 5 out of 35. And 35 is not a large cap. I wonder if this is the same cap the Demon King had in his last life? If it is, then that's not that big, really. I mean, I think Flay and Lisa both have higher than that, and Charlotte has way higher than that, right? So I'm not sure if that's just dumbed down because of the human reincarnation, or not. You do also get more dialogue from Lisa especially, so when she sees Iris again, that I can't really tell. Is she human? Is she demon? I don't know. So maybe some questions about her actual humanity as well, even though she may look human on the outside. And of course, yes, Haruto also made a very casual, sort of super advanced mana calculator that is apparently so far ahead of everything anyone else can do that, you know, he's just a genius incarnate. It is what it is. He does everything as easily as, well, anything really. That's what happens when you are so insanely overpowered. It's not even funny. One thing I have to say though is that you have to get yourself a girl that looks at you the same way that Lolly, ancient magic teacher, looks at and like laps up at Haruto when he talks of ancient magic and she thinks he might know something she doesn't. Like that expression is like, holy, someone is thirsty. Very, very thirsty. That voice actress, by the way, she does some good work. Like, that must be strenuous for her voice, doing all the things she does in this episode. But very entertaining, nonetheless. Of course, at the end of episode 11, we do get the whole Shiva coming in, or the real Haruto coming in, as the copy was the one that was at this inauguration feast for the ancient club, whatever. And we get some fun interactions there. And again, of course, the teacher basically wanting to question him of all the things he knows about ancient magic. Doesn't happen though. And Haruto actually also learns finally that, oh, the cult I just came up with actually exists. Yep. Yes, it does. Must just be how it is in isekai nowadays. To end all this off though, what do I really think of the show with one episode left? I have to say that, again, barely anything happens in the show in terms of progressing the story. As I said earlier, it's been like 2 in-world or in-universe days over 3 or 4 episodes. So the progression is really, really slow, and nothing of real substance happens. Yeah, Haruto made a new friend. Haruto goes to class. Like, some things happen, but nothing that is really relevant happens, or the plot doesn't really progress almost at all. It is very, very incremental. And in many shows I would criticize that heavily as having bad pacing and just not being good. But this show, to me at least, does such a good job of entertaining me, even while nothing much is happening in terms of the plot, that I'm totally fine with it. Like, as I've said before in previous reviews, if I could just have Flay, Charlotte, Iris, whatever, just talking to each other, conversing with Haruto among each other, having fun dialogue, having fun jokes, I would watch that and be happy with that for the foreseeable future, because I think that in and of itself is entertaining enough for me to enjoy the show. Now, I do really appreciate the story elements and such we do get now and again, but even without it, I think the show is enjoyable. I assume that episode 12 will not really have a climax, but just a casual, sort of wholesome comedy ending, and that will be that. And if that is the case, I'll be again totally satisfied with that. I'm not going to really be mad or disappointed at all. It's a show, this is a show that I didn't really think I would like after I sort of fell off the wagon a bit early in the season, but it has definitely grown on me, and the characters have grown on me, and just realizing what this show really was, and appreciating it for that, and not trying to make it something it's not, made me enjoy it much more than I thought I initially would. Anyways, episode 12 coming in a few days here, and I'm definitely excited to end off the season of this show, hopefully enjoy it as well. What do you think of episode 10 and 11? Did you enjoy them? What do you think of the show? Do you have high hopes for the last episode? What has your experience been with this show so far this season? feel free to leave those comments down below. And if you want to watch another video, then please do click on the video popping on your screen right now to watch me explaining exactly why this show has no plot and why that is okay. That being said, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time, so bye-bye.